These young people don't know emotional intelligence, don't know how to handle their emotions. So what do? They try to glorify and do what they see on TV and in these music videos and all this stuff. And I'm not going to blame the rap artists, and I'm not going to blame the TV shows, because at the end of the day, parents need to parent. Parents need to stop being their child's friend and being their child's parent. And if their child needs help and support, get that child the help and support.
A woman shot twice in Old Town Saturday night after breaking up a fight is dead. It happened in a parking lot at First in Washington. She leaves behind a 6-month-old daughter.
"19-year-old Lationna Johnson, affectionately known as Lottie to friends and family, was an intelligent and loving young girl who was an amazing mother to a beautiful 6-month-old baby girl. Like most teens, Lationna decided to hang out with friends for what was supposed to be a night full of laughter and good times. Never could anyone have imagined the tragic chain of events that would soon take place. Shortly after 11 p.m. on May 20th, the Wichita Police Department responded to the 1000 block of East 1st Street North for reports of a shooting. Upon arrival, they would find a young adult female suffering from multiple gunshot wounds.
While a Wichita teenager fights for her life, police are planning changes to help keep what happened to her in Old Town from happening to someone else.
It happened right here near the intersection of 1st and Washington in downtown Wichita. If you were here at just about any point over the weekend, you probably saw them investigating. That's what was going on, in case you were wondering. But now 4 days later, and this girl is still fighting for her life.
The victim was identified as 19-year-old Lationna Johnson, who suffered 2 shots to her upper body. She was rushed to a local hospital where she remained in critical condition as family and friends surrounded her and prayed for her recovery. According to her family, she was left without oxygen for roughly 20 minutes before the ambulance arrived, with onlookers even going as far as recording the incident as if it were pure entertainment. A look into the case revealed that Lationna attempted to break up a fight between a friend and another female after her friend won a fight against the suspect. Everything appeared to be over until Lationna began driving away from the scene. After losing the fight, the female suspect, quickly identified as 19-year-old Lania Banks, went to her car where she retrieved a weapon and began shooting towards Lationa's vehicle as she drove away, striking her twice, once in the neck and once in the shoulder. Investigators were quickly able to locate the suspect's vehicle, however, she was nowhere to be found. Loved ones were left in shock, including the father of Lationa's child, who reflected on Lationa's amazing qualities, especially her role as a mother to their 6-month-old daughter. He described her as a fighter, vowing that she would make it through this senseless and untimely incident.
Loved ones in shock.
They broke me because we have a daughter. She don't need to go through stuff like that. We're a family. Our daughter needs her, and our daughter needs me. It's not right.
Jamari Hoy has known the victim since high school.
We had a good bond and good relationship. Went on for 6 years, know each other for 7.
He heard the news from a friend.
She told me she got shot. I was like, don't tell me that, because I don't want to hear nothing like that right now. And then a lot more people started texting my phone, calling me, telling what happened. So I instantly knew it was for real and it was serious.
Police say they have made the entertainment district where the shooting happened a priority.
There was foresight enough to start a program down here. Instead of part-time officers, have dedicated officers down here on a regular basis, especially on Friday or Saturday nights, on foot patrol, being visible, making contact with businessmen, contact with people. We do education before enforcement.
WPD says having a dedicated officer in the area makes response times quicker when there is an incident.
It seemed to make quite a difference. I mean, officers were half a block away when this incident happened, so their quick response made all the difference to prevent it from escalating.
With more than 100 violent crimes already this year, the Wichita Police Department says it's time to rethink how they patrol the area. Designated officers will work with business owners and security guards to ensure everyone stays safe as downtown Wichita continues to grow. As they actively search for 19-year-old Lania Banks, they will receive the devastating news that 19-year-old Lationna Johnson succumbed to her injuries, sadly passing away 4 days after she was shot.
She would help in any situation, and I hate that this had to end because she tried to help.
Brianna Brobst says she was with Lationna Johnson's family in the ER the night of the shooting.
Her mom, her daughter, everyone was in the emergency room praying, and we knew that something had happened. They weren't speaking. They were very lost for words, especially her mother. My whole heart goes out to her.
The WPD still searching for the woman suspected of killing Lationna. Brobst says she and several other of Latonya's loved ones struggle to sleep at night, knowing her killer is still on the loose.
You took someone's mother, you took someone's daughter, you took someone's sister, and you killed her. You threw your life away, you know, because when you do get caught, you're going to be in prison.
Brobst says she's heartbroken. A lifetime of memories for Latonya and her 6-month-old daughter was so cruelly cut short.
She was loved by so many people. I feel so bad. I just wish the city would do better. These kids are so young.
Within a short amount of time, due to the fine work that our men and women of this department did, we had a suspect identified, and we are actively searching for that suspect.
Lieutenant Mike Linehan with the Wichita Police Department says the suspect is 19-year-old Linnea Banks. And while investigators were able to find her car, she's still on the loose. With more than 100 violent crimes already this year, according to the community crime map, Linehan says it's time to rethink how they patrol the area.
We assigned a lieutenant to be in charge of night operations, and the lieutenant is the Old Town supervisor who works Friday and Saturday nights down in Old Town. And what we did is we took groups of officers from each of the patrol bureaus, and we designated particular officers to be responding to Old Town Patrol. And the goal there was consistency.
Linehan says these designated officers will work with business owners and security guards to make sure everyone stays safe as downtown Wichita continues to grow.
The overall hope is to curb the violence, and we want to make sure we stress that violence has never been tolerated in Wichita, and it never will be, and it certainly won't be tolerated in Old Town. And if somebody commits a crime of violence in Old Town, we will arrest you and you will go to jail.
Days after her murder, there were tears and prayers at a vigil held in front of St. Francis Hospital in Midtown as family and members of the community gathered to remember Lationna and honor her life, while also praying for Lationna's 5 friends who were involved in the car crash after visiting her at the hospital.
For the woman who died as a result of that shooting over the weekend, and also for the 8 people injured in a crash Monday at Murdoch in Washington. Now, there is a connection between the 2 incidents. The car crash involved family of the shooting victim. The crash happened as they left the hospital where she was at.
My baby is stable, but she's fighting for her life, and she has had, in 48 hours, 7 surgeries. I haven't heard her voice since she walked down my house that morning.
And her message to others is to be careful, be more responsible, and appreciate the freedom to drive. Family says they are grateful for the support they've received so far, even from people who don't know those involved.
Lottie, 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 we love you! Lottie, 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 Lottie,
19-year-old Linnea Banks is wanted on suspicion of 1 count of aggravated battery, 5 counts of aggravated assault, 2 counts of discharge of a firearm into an occupied vehicle, and 1 count of attempted murder. She is considered armed and dangerous. Anyone with information leading to her arrest is encouraged to come forward. The case remains ongoing.
Hey, how's it going, everybody? I know I haven't posted a video in a while, and I've really been thinking of what to say. This past week, I couldn't think of any message to give because my mind has been only in one place. And that was the loss of my niece, my oldest niece. And when I think about it, I think about my oldest sister has lost her oldest daughter. And my nieces have lost their oldest sister. And baby, 6-month-old, will never get the chance to grow up with her mother. All for what? Because a young lady lost a fight? You know, my niece was breaking up a fight between two young ladies. From what I understand, one couldn't fight. The one that couldn't fight went to the car, came back with a firearm, started shooting. My niece got shot in the neck and in the shoulder. But 21 minutes without air, without oxygen, no CPR given. Don't know when the time frame of 911 was called, but it was a long period of time. Meanwhile, young people taking out cell phones, hitting the record button, sharing videos. All for what? For likes, for shares, for popularity. It's really ignorant. And I remember growing up, Northeast Wichita. Grew up 13th in Minnesota, 13th in Piatt, 10th in Piatt, on Ash. Had friends that lived on Green, on Lorraine, different areas of Northeast Wichita. And growing up, you know, I had my fair share of fights, disagreements. Won some, lost some. But not at one point did I ever think of, okay, let me go get a weapon and come back and destroy lives. And I don't understand what's with young people now that you can't take your loss. If you can't fight, you can't fight. And I pray for our young people right now because there is such a lack of guidance right now, a lack of instruction, a lack of mental health support, a lack of community support. These young people don't know emotional intelligence, don't know how to handle their emotions. So what do? They try to glorify and do what they see on TV and in these music videos and all this stuff. And I'm not going to blame the rap artists and I'm not going to blame the TV shows because at the end of the day, parents need to parent. Parents need to stop being their child's friend and being their child's parent. And if their child needs help and support, get that child the help and support. But now we're in an age where if you lose your fight, you want to come back and shoot somebody. For what? To ruin lives and even ruin your life? Because you're going to get caught. You're going to get locked up. Where is the thought process of how to handle emotions right now with young people? What do they need right now? How can they get the help that they need? My sister shouldn't have to be going through this. My nieces shouldn't have to be going through this. None of the Johnson family should have to be experiencing what's happening right now. None of Lottie's friends should have to be experiencing what's happening right now. Nobody should have to be going through this. And, you know, I had my moments this week where I had to fight back my tears because I'm angry. Like, I'm angry. I'm mad. I'm upset. I'm frustrated. because you see this happen on TV too often. You're seeing this happening too often within our community. But when it hits home, when it hits close, there's no words to describe it. You know, when I FaceTimed on Facebook, my sister, as I talked to my sister, and the hurt and the pain that I see on my sister's face as her brother, I cannot describe it, y'all. I cannot describe or put into words the hurt and the pain that I see in my sister, that I see in my nieces right now. I have no words for it, but all because somebody could not handle their emotions, could not take their loss and just go home, was embarrassed. Since when do we ruin people's lives because of embarrassment? I have no answer for that. I have no answer. But I do pray for the young people, and whatever support, whatever mental health support that's needed, whatever guidance that's needed. Young people, if you know you're not right, get the help that you need. Parents, if you know that your children are struggling in certain areas, don't be their friend, be their parent. Get them the help and support that they need. Because a family shouldn't have to be going through this. Not at all. Like, the more I think about it, my niece attempted to stop violence from happening, but ended up becoming a victim of violence. You know, it's heartbreaking. It's frustrating, and it makes me angry, because really this is the only thing that's been on my mind is our young people this past week. OGs, leaders of the community, pastors, parents, and those who have been around for a while, just as myself, we have to encourage and lead our young people. We have to give them direction. We have to show them a way. Because if we don't, more families are going to experience this. More people will be heartbroken. More people will be hurt. More people will be angry. It's not about us, y'all. It's about the future of our culture. And we got to do something different. We got to do something different. So I just ask that y'all pray for the Johnson family. I ask that y'all just continue to lift up my sister, Nasia, my brother Dion, my sister Ciandra, my nieces, you know, just the whole entire family right now. Just lift the baby up in prayer. Anybody that has been impacted by the murder of my niece, I just ask that you pray for them and lift them up. And again, if you have any information, you can inbox me. I have no problem talking to the detectives. You know, we live in a culture where people is like, don't snitch. Nah, tell me. I'll do the snitching. Tell me. I'll call the detectives. And if you know any whereabouts of where she is, the suspect, we ask that you just do right and turn her in, so that a family can begin the process of healing the process of closure, because it's not going to happen overnight. It's going to take a long time. But it's hard to start when justice hasn't been served. So this is all I ask. This is all I can say right now, but we're just thankful. I'm thankful for those who's had the Johnson family in their prayers and been praying and just send their encouraging words, and we just ask that you be with the family, people. Just be with the Johnson family. That's all I ask. Uncle, love you, Lottie.